Hello, guys. This is Shar. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for returning. Now, this short video is about Phaedra Parks and how much of a flop that she pretty much is as a reality TV star or celebrity or personality, whatever you want to call it. Phaedra is, she's doing herself a disjustice with all the cap. She caps and caps and caps. And when she's not capping, she's basically talking about people just for no reason. Like really like going in on people, talking about their breasts, maybe implying that they can't dress. You know what I'm saying? Maybe implying that they might be, stupid or not as smart as her or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? Like going in on people for real. And if she not doing one of those two, she's just sitting up there making faces, poking out her big floppy lips. And there ain't nothing wrong with having voluptuous lips, as they call it, because people are paying big money for fillers getting these lips done. But I'm still calling them big floppy lips because that's what they are. Okay, did y'all see when she kissed that man on the last episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta? Her lips buried that man's lips, both of them, top and bottom. You couldn't even see his lips no more. Anyway, so yeah, this is about Phaedra and how, I have no clue as to why Andy and them brought her back onto Housewives of Atlanta. But before that, can somebody please tell me why the hell she was on Married to Medicine? Knowing that woman was not dating anyone in the medical field, less known a doctor. And not saying that she couldn't date a doctor, but she just simply really was not dating a doctor. She was not married to medicine. What was the purpose of coming on there? What was the purpose of bringing her on there? The ratings may have been low, so, they get to grasping, pulling the straws, doing stuff. But Phaedra, that was the best y'all could come up with? That fake relationship of some man that was in the medical field that obviously she paid to be her little date while she was on the show, while she dogged out Kendra, what's her name? Kenya, years ago when people was constantly saying that Kenya was buying dates to be on the show. Now she doing it. Because you can't pay me to believe that she didn't pay that man that was on there with her for a very, very short period of time. I'm talking like, 2-3 episodes, if that, when she first came on to Married to Medicine. It's like Andy and them just gave her a freaking paycheck, for real, because she did not bring anything to the show. So when Dr. Heavenly was going in on her and Quad, even though I cannot stand Quad, okay, they were right when they indicated that Phaedra didn't make the show. She didn't bring anything to the show, and she didn't. So good riddance to her from being on Married to Medicine. I know she won't be coming back. I would hope. But fast forwarding to right here, right now, why the hell did Andy Cohen bring her back to the Housewives of Atlanta? We all know that she got fired years ago when she made up that preposterous lie about Candy and Todd, saying that she heard verbatim out of Candy and Todd's mouth that they wanted to have relations with Portia, dumbass, physical relations, and wanted to rug her and have relations with her. She didn't say she heard that. She said that she heard, from the horse's mouth, directly from Todd and Candy. And that they had some type of sex dungeon. Now, when she said that they had a sex dungeon, and Candy later on, a few years later, came out with her uh, her line of X toys and stuff. I'm like, well, did she see the makings of Candy's X line? You know what I'm saying? That toy line and all this and that. Did she see the makings of that? Maybe some paraphernalia or whatever, since she was saying she had an X dungeon. I don't know. But either way, them people didn't ever say that to Phaedra. Or, she basically was capping when she said she actually overheard them say this. That was a lie. Because, even the most sickest people out here in the world, ex-offenders, Jeffrey Epstein, Diddy, all these people, they're not actually telling people, you know what, I want to rug her and have relations with her. I think I'm going to do that. They ain't telling nobody that. You know what I mean? They're just doing it at their convenience when they feel the time is right. They are, messing around with these women. So the fact that Phaedra said that she actually overheard them say that, it just never screamed the truth to me. And then, she carried it to Portia, and Portia, rolled with it. And then at the final hour during that reunion, what was that, almost 10 years ago, if not 10 years ago, going to say, well, Phaedra told me. And Phaedra backpedaled right out of that mess. Like, making all them dumbass faces. I didn't really, I just told you, I heard, you know what I mean? I heard it. Well, and she was like, no, you said, with them fake tears. It's like, both of y'all are dumb. Phaedra gets fired and away for 7 years, I believe, off the show. And then she recently does an interview with Hollywood Unlocked, Jason Lee, and I have a very short clip from it. Well, not a clip. I just have audio. I don't want nobody striking me no more. You know what I'm saying? He may not, but I don't care. I'm not taking no chances. But it is the audio. First of all, he was like, you took the brink. It's like, what? No, she didn't take the brink. And even if she did take the brink, in your opinion, she should take the brink. She the one came up with the big fat lie about what she told Candy and them. Or said about Candy and them, rather. But, Phaedra just, she needs to be shut down. Andy does not need to bring her back next season. It's just no reason. She didn't bring anything to this season, neither. All she did was talk about people. She talked about Kelly's breasts. She basically was saying Kelly was just short and dumpy and, had some big floppy itties, if you know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? She was talking about Drew. And mind you, she ain't got no beef with none of these people. You know what I mean? She was talking about Angela for no reason. Didn't really have nothing really to say about her besides the fact that she didn't know she didn't know that her husband was married. Trying to imply that, he's like just so out and about, and it just doesn't seem like he's married. And he didn't, she didn't know anything about him having a wife. Which that was kind of like the narrative to me this season. Like everybody came for this woman's husband. And, he is an ex-NFL NBA player, so he probably do or has had a lot of women or whatever. It's not unheard of for these NBA players. And, he seems to have been quite handsome, I guess, when he was younger, if you like big, tall, dark-skinned men. Or whatever. So, yeah, that was kind of like the narrative. Everybody wanted to come for her husband and break their whole little bond up with their marriage or whatever. I don't know what Angela did to any of these ladies prior to the show, but, they came up with this storyline. Phaedra didn't do nothing but sit up here and make a bunch of faces at people. And like I said, talk about people. That's all she did. That's not bringing anything to the show. She talked about her 2 kids a little bit, saying, oh, they're going to have a clothing line. Okay, boom, whatever. It was just stupid. It was just another show just giving her a paycheck. And for her, good for her. But it was still just, she's not bringing anything to the show. She does not need to come back. Phaedra, I don't know. She, seems to be articulate. She went to school to do the whole little mortician thing or whatever, mortuary science. She got a funeral home or partnering with someone that has one. She's a lawyer, of course, we all know that. But the fact that she has just ditched law and became a full-time reality show personality, to me, shows that she wasn't a good lawyer. And that's why she was willing to walk away from it. I mean, as long as she keeps her law license up, she can always go back to law. Law ain't going nowhere. But obviously, she was not at the top of her game. You know what I'm saying? No lawyer that's at the top of their game, getting, constantly getting work, winning these cases for these people, their clients. You know what I'm saying? And just jump out and just, start being on reality TV, where she's probably could get a whole lot more being a lawyer, especially since she's like a celebrity entertainment lawyer, or work with celebrities. Probably can get way more than what Andy Cohen and them paying her. She wasn't winning at law. That's why she stepped away. Y'all remember a while ago, what was that? It was a long time ago. It was, I think, back during when they first was on there. What's her name? Sheree Whitfield had hired her to represent her while she was trying to get child support from her husband. This was back when her kids were younger. That's how long ago that was. And she was like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. I'll work for you. She was like, girl, I'm a pit bull. Don't worry about nothing. Girl, why the hell did Phaedra and Sheree go up in that courtroom and Phaedra wasn't able to get that woman not a dime during that court proceeding? Not a dime. Not only that, the man didn't even have representation. Her Sheree's husband. What was his name? Bob Whitfield. He represented himself. And Sheree was pissed because it was like, you told me you knew what you was doing and that you was a pit bull. And here it is. We walking out empty handed. I don't got no money, no prospects of no money. You didn't let this man 1-2 you, and he ain't even an attorney. She just, Sheree indicated that he was kind of savvy. He was a graduate from Stanford University, and, yes, he basically bamboozled Phaedra and not even an attorney. So, yeah, she pretty much walked away from law for the time being because she wasn't doing well. She wasn't winning any of her cases, so she didn't feel it, no big deal to walk away. She's probably having more fun being on reality TV. This is facts. No one's walking away from their career in the height of their career on top. When that's just like LeBron James walking away from the Lakers at the height of his career. He's winning constantly getting high scores during the games, going to the playoffs, winning, but just up jumped and said, oh, you know what? I'm going to do a podcast show. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not happening. Phaedra walked away because she wasn't winning any of her damn cases. So, yeah. But let me let you guys listen to this audio from Phaedra on the interview she did with Jason Lee. And then I'm going to let you guys go. I did not want this video to be very long, but this is a mess.
I was so mad at you for sitting there and letting the charades happen in front of all of us.
But they didn't show what was really said.
Clearly.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, okay? All of you out there that don't know TV, that never been on it, we couldn't do it at all at Love and Hip Hop. There's something called a fourth wall. That means like there's 3 walls that we can talk about that you see, and then there's that fourth wall that you can never see. some of us will break that fourth wall because we ain't gonna let you drag us for filth, and some of us will play the game and not break the fourth wall. And I was watching that go down, and your silence screamed, fourth wall, fourth wall, fourth wall.
I mean, because that's the contract. I mean,
Anyway, nobody told you not to
sometimes
tell
just gotta
who
realize.
told you that mess.
Okay.
I'm gonna just stay within the four corners.
Yeah, I mean, because I know better and I'm trained, and so I'm held to a higher standard than some of my
You're not
colleagues because
practicing
they
law
know I
right
know
now,
better.
Phaedra. You're on a
And so
reality
sometimes
show.
when you're a
So what
little
are you
smarter
talking about? You know,
than the average
standard
bear,
with
it doesn't always help you.
You signed the
Okay,
same
I'm
contract
sitting here
as
with a
you.
litigator, so let me bring up my briefs. This is what happened. I remember Portia had the really short hairdo that day, and she was going on and crying about how you told her information, and you sat there, and I will never forget your face. You were beat for the guys, and you sat there and just wrote it out, and Candy played up this whole thing that Candy could not believe what was being said about her, which we're now hearing more about the bedroom as time has kind of progressed, and the world has become more accepting of people's bedrooms being different.
That woman didn't say she wanted to rug
You don't have to say
Phaedra,
anything if you don't want to.
Portia.
But you gave a lot of grace. Again, this is another example. Why?
You know,
Still not saying nothing.
But now you're back in the show with Portia.
yeah. I mean, what's crazy is I was punished for something no one even saw me do.
No one
It's
saw
like
you do.
telephone.
Right.
But I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, but now you're back with Portia.